Hey guys, Melissa here, and today I'm going to show you how I use my looping pedal to create all the sounds and songs that I make in my videos. So if you've seen Amber, or if you've seen the video on YouTube or on Facebook, Tall Kanuka, both in which I'm playing whistle, then I wanted to show you guys how I pulled that off. Now this is the RC300 loop station by Boss. And this is, in my opinion, the best one on the market, at least so far. And if you're interested in looping, I don't recommend you start with this. I actually started on what's called a Boss VE20, which the VE stands for vocal effects. And that I learned how to get my timing down and my looping and my style down. And once I learned that on the VE20, I upgraded to this. Another really popular one that I think Ed Sheeran uses is the RC300, and that is just a smaller version of this. Instead of 3 tracks, it has 2. It has some really cool onboard effects. Has the ability to undo the last thing that you did, which is really cool, because this one does not have that option. So if you make a mistake, you can't undo it. So I would recommend, if you wanted to get into looping, try the VE20 or the RC300. Or you can go to Digitech. Digitech has some pretty cool loopers. They're a little less intuitive, but once you read the manual and you understand them, they're actually really cool. So, yeah, so basically I got into looping because I met a really amazing singer named Celia, and she turned me on to looping. And also there's the American finalist for Boss Looping Pedals Contest, Angela Chic, and they turned me on to looping. And when I moved to New Zealand and I lost my band in the States because I can't tour there anymore as easily, I decided to get into looping so that I could still make all the cool sounds that I want to make and get into electronic music, but without having to pay a band, you know, because it is expensive to do that, especially in New Zealand. Anyway, so here we go. Let's jump in here, and I'm going to show you a little bit of the functionality of this without overwhelming you with all the buttons. So basically, we've got track 1, track 2, and track 3. And all this does is it allows you to layer different tracks on top. Now you're not actually, you're not confined to just 3 instruments. You could record many instruments on track 1 and many instruments on track 2 and maybe just 1 or 2 on track 3. They'll layer on top of each other. And so basically you've got your pedals, which are record and play, and dub on top. So that's what that means. And the stop button means you stop it. Now you could stop it right as you hit the pedal. You'll see when I do it in a second. You can hit it and then it'll end it at the end of the loop. Or you could fade it out, which is really nice because sometimes a slow song requires just this nice, relaxed fade out. These are the sliders that control the volume of the tracks. So this slider would control the volume of this track. And that's important because when you're looping, if you maybe sing too loud into it, you can reduce the track volume. They do have these really lame, I don't really know if this will work, I'll show you later. In this rhythm, they have these really lame, like boxed, canned, sounds for drums, which I don't like, so I avoid those. And then you just have your inputs for all your stuff. I primarily use the loop effects pedal for delay, so I'm going to put this down and I'm going to start showing you guys what this does. So, here we go. So we've got, hello. So I'm talking into this now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a beat. So I'm going to set a beat by just going into the mic. So here we go. Okay, so I just set a beat. That's really important for all of you people who want to get into looping. If your first loop is not perfect, the rest will be terrible. So make sure that you get your beat down, whether it's playing guitar or doing something with your mouth, like a sound, or clapping or snapping into the mic, something that is going to make a perfect loop that has no problems looping around itself, you know, like getting out of time. All right, so then from here on out, it's pretty much whatever I want to do. So I could layer another one on top. So I could go. Okay, so now it's starting to sound very hip-hop, which I don't really do. I do want to show you something really neat on this. You can actually go to the button up here, and there is something called reverse in here. So I'm going to turn that on, and then you're going to actually hear my it's actually going to sound completely different. So here we go. Isn't that cool? I actually like that better. So I'm going to leave that. It doesn't sound like my voice anymore. It's pretty cool. So now I'm going to sing a song on top of it. And this, I've decided that this track is going to be, for track 2, is going to be my, turn that down. My track 2 is going to be my beat. So I'm going to let my track 3 be my, let's say it's going to be my vocals. Okay, so I'm going to go. Da 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 da. All right, so now I've got 2 tracks going, and you can see by the light I'm using 2 and 3, but I haven't used 1 yet. So that could be for guitar, it could be for whatever I feel like. Now, of course, this gets annoying after a while. So what we're going to do, turn down the vocals. We're going to go ahead and we're going to stop the vocals. So I haven't set this bank yet, actually, to stop it at the end of the track. So you need to be careful of that. And so I would want to stop it on the beat. And then I stop it. And then I stop it when, and that's there. This all start, all stop button is really cool if you want to have a dramatic stop in your song. So we could go, I'm going to sing a little bit on top of this. Okay, so something like that. This effects pedal, right now it's on modulation or transpose, which just raised my vocal, but we don't want that. So I could change that to be other, and I usually set it to delay, so it goes So yeah, okay, so enough of that, and stop. Okay, so that is a very, very, very brief overview of the RC300. I hope you learned something and enjoyed it. For anybody who's interested in learning looping, again, I highly recommend you start with some of the smaller loopers and work your way up, and practice really does make perfect. I did not go on stage or do any videos live on Facebook with looping until I practiced this baby for 3 months straight, doing it 3, 4, 5 times a week for about an hour to 2 hours a day. It's just very left brain, right brain. Your artistic brain really has to work with your technical brain to make it work. And as an artist, I'm not very technical, so I have a learning curve there. But yeah, it is loads of fun when you learn it, and now you know a little bit about the way that I loop my music. So, all right, guys, well, enjoy, and I'll see you later. Bye.